A 29-year-old kidnapping victim was rescued and 6 men, aged between 28 and 46, were arrested during a coordinated police operation in Velkom on Friday, July 24, 2026. The operation involved the Free State Provincial Murder and Robbery Unit, the Velkom K9 Unit, and the Parkweg Tactical Response Team after the victim was allegedly abducted at gunpoint from his home in Stein. Police said the kidnapping was reported to the Velkom Police and the Provincial Murder and Robbery Unit based in the Bong. Investigators established that the victim's family had received phone calls from the alleged kidnappers demanding an undisclosed ransom for his release. Acting on information received, the Velkom K9 Unit and Tactical Response Team traced the suspects to a house in Flamingo Park. Officers surrounded the house using tactical methods, and the suspects allegedly attempted to flee after noticing the police, but were quickly arrested. Inside the garage, police found the 29-year-old victim with both hands tied behind his back. He was in a severe state of shock and had sustained injuries to the back of his head as well as bruises on his hands and feet. Police also seized 2 handguns, ammunition, and 3 vehicles, one of which was reportedly stolen in Winburg. The 6 suspects are expected to appear in the Velkom Magistrates Court on Monday, July 27, 2026. They are facing charges of kidnapping, extortion, possession of unlicensed firearms, and possession of a suspected stolen vehicle, while police investigations into the case continue. Cotting police, working with brand protection experts, have seized counterfeit and illicit goods worth more than 27.5 million rands during a 4-day operation conducted between the 20th and the 23rd of July 2026. The coordinated enforcement campaign targeted manufacturing, storage, and distribution networks across the Sedibeng, West Rand, Tshwane, and Johannesburg districts, resulting in the confiscation of more than 572,000 counterfeit and illicit items. The operation began on July 20th in Orange Farm, Sedibeng district, where officers inspected 4 shops at 6 addresses and uncovered an illegal operation manufacturing and packaging counterfeit snuff products. Authorities confiscated about 10 kilograms of counterfeit taxi and ince snuff, 1,500 empty containers, shrink labels, a heat gun, and a sealing machine valued at 10,000 rands. The following day in Carltonville, West Rand, police seized 2,877 counterfeit cell phone accessories, consumables, and clothing worth an estimated 436,950 rands. On July 22nd, officers inspected 6 shops in Hercules, Tshwane, where they confiscated 1,874 counterfeit consumables, jewelry, illicit poison, pharmaceutical products, and illicit honey. On July 23rd, members executed a search and seizure warrant at 5 storage units in Jeppe, Johannesburg, recovering 41,120 counterfeit Rizla dispensers valued at 16 million rands, 522,000 counterfeit Trust condom packets worth 8 million rands, and 4,200 counterfeit Darling hair pieces valued at 126,000 rands. A total of 567,320 counterfeit items worth 25 million rands were seized during the Jeppe operation alone. Across all 4 operations, authorities confiscated more than 572,000 counterfeit and illicit items with a combined estimated value exceeding 27 million rands. Police said they remain committed to working with brand owners, regulatory authorities, and other law enforcement partners to identify and dismantle criminal networks involved in counterfeit, contraband, and illicit trade across Cotting. A multidisciplinary Operation Jijima, led by eThekwini Deputy District Commissioner Brigadier Sekenjenkisi Zuma and Operational Commander Lieutenant Colonel Thobekilm Dedelwa, targeted illegal trading, immigration violations, and bylaw transgressions in Durban city center. The operation formed part of ongoing efforts to enforce compliance and improve safety in the area. During the operation, more than 24 nationals were taken in for verification as authorities carried out inspections across the Durban CBD. Several businesses were also found to be operating illegally, with law enforcement officials identifying multiple violations during the coordinated operation involving SAPS and its partners. Authorities further discovered that a building on Park Street had been unlawfully converted into residential flats, restaurants, and a sports bar. As a result of the findings, Charges were brought against the owner of the property for the alleged unlawful use of the building. SAPS said it remains committed, together with its law enforcement partners, to restoring law and order, ensuring compliance with the law and creating safer communities. Community members have also been encouraged to report illegal activities in their areas as part of ongoing efforts to improve public safety. 2 suspects were arrested after a high-speed chase ended with their vehicle crashing into a residential boundary wall in the Felakezi area on Thursday, July 23. The operation followed reports that a white Volkswagen Polo sedan was allegedly being used to steal cell phones near Arbor Crossing, leading to the recovery of multiple suspected stolen devices. At approximately 1500 hours, information about the vehicle was broadcast through the CCPO radio network, prompting officers to remain on alert. ET Rapid Response members later located the Volkswagen Polo in the Winkelspruit area and kept it under observation while tactical response teams moved into position to assist. When the suspects noticed additional response vehicles approaching, they sped away in an attempt to evade capture. Following a pursuit into the Felakezi area, the vehicle lost control and crashed into the boundary wall of a residential property, narrowly missing children who were walking nearby. 2 suspects were arrested, while a third escaped on foot. Multiple cell phones were recovered from inside the vehicle. The arrested suspects were detained at Kwamakutha SAPS for further investigation, while efforts to locate the suspect who fled were unsuccessful. Metro Police K-9, Kwamakutha SAPS trio crimes, and the CCPO assisted during the operation, which resulted in the recovery of the suspected stolen property and the apprehension of 2 suspects. Members of the Middelburg Flying Squad arrested a 36-year-old suspect for possession of drugs after a high-speed chase on the N12 on Thursday evening, July 23, 2026. The arrest was made at about 21:30 after officers stopped a silver Audi A4 with Gauteng registration numbers following a pursuit. Police were on patrol when they noticed the Audi traveling at high speed on the N12, just after the Watermeyer off-ramp. Officers followed the vehicle and successfully brought it to a stop. The car had 1 occupant, who was searched along with the vehicle during the operation. During the search, officers discovered 32 packets of substances suspected to be drugs in the boot of the Audi. The 36-year-old suspect was immediately arrested at the scene on charges related to possession of the suspected drugs following the recovery of the packets. The suspect is expected to appear before the Emalani Magistrates Court soon on a charge of dealing in drugs. The arrest followed the patrol operation by the Middelburg Flying Squad, with the recovered suspected drugs forming part of the case against the accused. 2 suspects have been arrested after police allegedly found 2 Rhino horns, 2 hunting rifles, and ammunition inside a vehicle during a patrol on the N12 between Ogis and Kendall in Mpumalanga. The arrests were made by members of the Middelburg Flying Squad late on Wednesday, July 22, 2026. According to police, officers were patrolling the N12 at about 23:45 when they spotted a suspicious silver Toyota Etios with Mpumalanga registration numbers. The vehicle was stopped and searched, along with its 2 occupants, leading to the discovery of a black jacket covering 2 Rhino horns inside the car. Police also recovered 2 hunting rifles and rounds of ammunition during the search. The 2 occupants were immediately arrested and are expected to appear before the Witbank Magistrates Court. They will face charges relating to the possession of Rhino horns as well as possession of unlicensed firearms and ammunition. The arrests followed a routine patrol by the Middelburg Flying Squad on the N12. The suspects remain in police custody and are due to appear in court soon, where the charges connected to the Rhino horns, hunting rifles, and ammunition will be formally addressed. 27-year-old suspect has been arrested after members of the Upington K-9 unit and border policing recovered a stolen 2025 Toyota Land Cruiser Prado valued at approximately R1.5 million. The vehicle was intercepted in Upington on Thursday, July 23, 2026, at about 7:30 following a swift police response. The Toyota Land Cruiser Prado had been reported stolen in Woodstock, Cape Town, about 12 hours earlier, where a theft of a motor vehicle case was opened. SAPS members in Upington received information from a vehicle tracking company, which led them to the exact location of the vehicle near the Upington Central Business District. Police intercepted the suspected stolen vehicle and arrested the driver at the scene. The successful operation was carried out by members of the Upington K-9 unit and border policing, whose vigilance and rapid response resulted in both the recovery of the vehicle and the arrest of the suspect. ZF Mkawu District Commissioner Major General Monica Sebalai praised the officers for their professionalism, commitment, and swift action. The 27-year-old suspect is expected to appear in the Upington Magistrates Court soon on a charge of possession of a suspected stolen motor vehicle.